Good afternoon, Bluebirds. I am Josie with Isaac delivering your announcements.
Happy birthday to Katie Bushell and Margot Brandenburger.
The forecast for the next couple of days calls for a lot of rain. Currently, there are many areas in the Cincinnati area experiencing flooding due to the rain. If the Ohio River reaches 52 feet, we are considered to be at a flood stage. Right now, the Ohio River is at 55.2 feet. Forecasts think it will rise another inch or more and then begin to recede. Here is a piece of trivia for you. 24 floodgates protect Cincinnati and northern Kentucky. Currently, 5 floodgates are closed. Here are some pictures for you to see how high the river is. The first picture is a picture of Smale Park in Cincinnati. Notice that the weather is almost up to the swings. The next 2 pictures were taken yesterday and show a riverfront view from Cincinnati. Now, to see how the flooding is affecting some of our very own, Miss Carolyn shared these pictures. Here's a picture of Miss Carolyn's backyard. Her backyard has a view of Sailor Park in Silver Grove. The water has not reached her house yet, and she drives a completely different route to get to her house. This is a picture of the road leading to her house. Hopefully, there will not be too much property damage for Carolyn. Keep an eye on the news reports.
This Friday is the Highlands Middle School Talent Show at 7 p.m. in the Highlands High School Auditorium. Admission is $5. The MCs for the evening will be Connor DeFevers, Luke Lehman, and Owen McCain. We hope to see everyone there.
February is Black History Month. Since 1976, this is a time in our country's history where we celebrate achievements by African Americans and recognize their role in the U.S. history. Many of you may have heard of Martin Luther King Jr. or Rosa Parks, but there are so many other Black Americans who have made significant and rich contributions to our nation and its history. Let's look at some of these other people.
February is Black History Month. This month is dedicated to honoring influential African American leaders throughout history. While you may be familiar with people such as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, Frederick Douglass, or Harriet Tubman, there are thousands of others who have left their mark on our country as well. Maya Angelou was a prominent poet, author, and civil rights activist in the mid-20th century. Famous for her most popular work, I Know I the Caged Bird Sings, Angelou also used her position of importance to assist Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. during the civil rights movement. Matthew Henson was the first African American explorer and is often credited with being the first person to reach the North Pole. As a young sailor, he met a man named Edward Peary, who hired Henson to accompany him on an expedition. They worked together for many years before eventually trying to reach the North Pole. They made multiple failed attempts but finally succeeded in 1909. When the team returned to the United States, Henson's triumph was strongly overlooked and he wasn't given the recognition he deserved until almost 30 years later. We all know the story of Rosa Parks, but what about the teenage girl who came 9 months before her? Claudette Colvin was 15 years old when she refused to give up her seat on the bus to a white woman. She was arrested and brought to the Montgomery, Alabama jailhouse. Although she preceded Rosa Parks, she was not as famous because she was just a teenager when the event occurred. However, she sparked the Montgomery bus boycotts and altered history forever. These are just 3 remarkable African Americans. Thousands have shaped history, and thousands of others will do the same in the future. Black History Month gives us an avenue to reflect on the accomplishments of African Americans and always remember their struggle for justice and equality, which is still relevant in today's world.
Realizing that February is Black History Month, here's a book you may want to consider. This book is about the women who are the brains behind the launch of John Glenn into space, which then, in turn, helped renew America's hopes in NASA in the space program. What these women accomplished is nothing short of remarkable. For lunch today, we're having homemade cheese or pepperoni calzone and steamed vegetables. The alternate is quesadillas. For lunch tomorrow, we'll be having French toast sticks, sausage links, hash brown potatoes, and cinnamon apples. The alternate is taco wedges. Remember, if you don't like those choices, you can always fix yourself a salad, and there's fresh and assorted fruit.
Stay dry, Bluebirds, and have a great rest of the day.